Hi, it's Tami Gingrow with Body in Balance, coming to you just about an hour after the new moon in Taurus has become exact on May 11th, 2021. What a wild ride this last 14 months has been. And I have been offering freely because it's something that's really important to me. I've been offering a free new moon global goddess gathering on the new moon, every new moon, for approximately 2 years now. During this new moon in Taurus especially, we're all being called to a strong evaluation of our priorities and also being challenged to make an action list, a little different from the intentions that is healthy to write on the new moon. Every new moon gives us that opportunity to go inward, introspective. It's the time of the month 12 or 13 times a year when the sun and the moon come together and they travel through the zodiac to meet, to communicate, and to give us their energy and exemplify and exonerate the energy of the other planetary alignments. This new moon in Taurus brings us to the earthly realm. Taurus is a steady and patient earth sign. So it would be a great idea to get really, really quiet as you can for the next 24 hours, and go within and see if you don't begin to receive some new psychic communication. It is only when we go inward and get really quiet that we can hear the voice of our higher self, which is every bit the voice of God or Source. Humans are more distracted than ever. We are constantly receiving information. If we're not listening to news and radio, we're still being inundated with those electromagnetic waves. And there have been concerted efforts by the powers that be to keep humans in the dark by feeding us fluoride, which calcifies our pineal gland. Your pineal gland is the gland responsible for your intuition, your direct connection with spirit. And again, that's the unified higher spirit connected with Source, the God Source within each and every one of us. Of late, we've been fed a lot of information from some pretty dubious powers that be. Tech gurus entering healthcare advising, Monsanto and GMO and glyphosate mixed in with government interests, messing up our food supply, messing up our water supply. These things are really important to take a good, hard look at under the scrutiny of your own spirit and God's Source energy. Opening to your psychic receptors. Clairaudience is when you might hear audibly the voice of your higher self and the voice of God. Clairvoyance is when you might see visions in your waking state, meditative state, and in your dream state. Clairsentience is when you just have that feeling. Oftentimes it can be described as that gut feeling. Claircognizance is when you just simply know. You don't necessarily have to know how you know, And yet that makes it one of the more difficult psychic senses to trust. And then we have clairomniscience, which is communication with galactic beings. We all have abilities to have our psychic receptors functioning so that we can use them to test all the information that we're getting. And it is my challenge to everyone. With this new moon, I present a challenge, and it might be difficult for some of you, but I want to challenge you to take a 28-day news detox. And I assure you that if you will take this 28-day news detox challenge, your health is going to improve. Your holistic health, your mind, your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health, and your spiritual health. And one way you know when you're spiritual healthy is when your psychic communication receptors are fully functioning. I bet the average person right now in 2021 is not functioning in that way. One thing that has been an exceptional challenge for me, I'm a seer. I see and know things that other people don't know. I've been this way all of my life, and I felt like quite an anomaly. Before I began to understand my gifts more, I didn't understand why I felt so different or why I put people off. And it turns out that the truth is often too fearful for people to reckon with. They would rather just cling to what they've been taught, even if something inside you is screaming at you, or there's a feeling of unwellness and imbalance inside of you that suggests that something is wrong. I miss the ability and the freedom that Americans once had. And I'm going to say Americans, even though I pray this reaches a global audience. But I am living in America. And I have been traveling, and I have been with people from other nations. But in America, we are very prone right now to wanting things to go back to the way they were. We want to be able to trust in our religious institutions. We want to be able to trust in our doctors, in our medical institutions. We want to be able to trust that our elected officials, or officials that got in there one way or another, have human health and wellness as their primary focus. I think that most of us realize that none of those institutions have human health and wellness as their primary focus. And churches, I believe, have the best intentions. Many churches have the best intentions, but they're dealing with a lot of misinformation that came through to them thousands and thousands of years ago. I love Jesus. I have an amazing relationship with Jesus, but I think we forget what Jesus did when he was here. He spent his time doing two things, well, three things primarily, but two of them are connected. One, he challenged, attacked, and shone a light on the heresy of the religious institution at the time, the Pharisees and Sadducees. He called them vipers, which is an insult to vipers. The snake is very misunderstood. But he attacked the religious leaders of the day, and he cast out demons, and he healed the sick. But most of the time when he healed the sick, he began by casting out demons. Fear is a modern day demon. Fear robs us of our birthright of unlimited abundance. Fear robs us of joy, happiness. Fear robs us of unveiling and pursuing our purpose for being with passion. And right now, you know, a lot of people are watching the news, and a lot of people are listening to what they're telling us about this virus. And they're calling this virus a global pandemic. And you may disagree with me, but I really want to ask you as respectfully and as humbly and as heartfeltly, if that's a word, as I can, to honor my difference of opinion, to find as many views as you possibly can, and to respectfully discuss differences of opinion. We are at a hitherto unprecedented attack on our freedom in this country. And I venture to say, I suggest, and I ask you to explore everything you can explore to really uncover whether you want to continue to believe what we've been asked to believe. I hadn't intended on going here during this new moon in Taurus video, because this video is in lieu of the Global Goddess Gathering for the first time in about 2 years, because I am faced with a great deep need to reevaluate my priorities at this time, to take a very close look at where I'm investing my time, my talent, and my resources. I believe wholeheartedly in the new moon Global Goddess Gathering as an incredible tool to help us reimagine and rebirth the earth that we all want to live in. An earth where we are free, inherently free to do whatever we want, free to thrive financially, free to take in the sun. We are almost all vitamin D deficient, and that is one of the essential crux of human health and wellness. Powers that be and the news agencies have told us we're better off indoors, better off wearing masks that cause us to breathe our own toxins. When we exhale, we are detoxing. Can you really rationally believe that you are better off breathing your own toxins than you are building a healthy immune system? With this video, I'm going to post a lot of links. I'm going to post links to Deepak Chopra and Sadhguru. They're both doctors, and they both have a very healthy view on the coronavirus. This virus has been around for thousands of years. It may have been altered in a laboratory, and it may have been released onto humans. But I just want to pose the question, and I want to really ask you, and this is coming back to some of what I wanted to discuss in this video. If you are triggered by my freedom to choose not to wear a mask because nature is my medicine, I've been devoted to holistic health all my life, and I believe in it fully. When I get sick, I don't go to a hospital or a doctor. I don't even have a primary care physician. I don't use pharmaceuticals, ever. That's my choice, and that needs to remain my choice. And if that triggers an emotional response in you, I want to humbly, calmly, peacefully, and lovingly ask you to examine what is being triggered in you. What fear, what has changed in you that has caused you to force your views onto me? And where did your views come from? Are they even your own views? Or are they adopted by the terroristic measures that the news and our government is enacting? When someone uses psychological measures to instill fear, that is terrorism. Our people of Earth have been terrorized into a state of enormous compliance. We've accepted and adopted that we're going to wear a mask, or we will not be allowed to purchase food or home improvement supplies or to travel freely. And I want to present to you that there are other methods. Does that trigger something in you? I'm sitting right here in my garden. One of the first things that comes up every year is garlic. I grow lots and lots of garlic. Garlic is an incredibly powerful antibiotic. It is. I grow comfrey, I grow burdock, I grow blueberries. Those are not an antibiotic, but they're very healthy. I grow echinacea. I grow chamomile. I harvest my dandelions. I have nettle in my woods. I harvest all of those things and I use them regularly. I've recently learned about chlorine dioxide, a very inexpensive, very powerful chemical compound that in very small doses oxygenates our blood so effectively that it kills off all bacteria, all viruses. It kills off candida and yeast, which are oftentimes the leading cause to cancer. Chlorine dioxide is a very inexpensive, very powerful tool that we can use internally to fight bacteria and viruses if we contract them. We can use it prophylactically to prevent viral infection and cancer, and we can use it in our environment to disinfect. And it's much more safe than the over-the-counter bleach that people are accustomed to using. Now, if you were to Google chlorine dioxide, you'll see the FDA all up in arms, even putting people in jail because of it. This should raise a red flag for you. The president of Brazil has approved chlorine dioxide as a safe and effective treatment for the coronavirus. I've been feeling very out of sorts in the last couple of weeks because my soul's purpose for being is to accomplish the complete emancipation of the human race. I am here for freedom. I believe completely in freedom. I raised my kids telling them that rules were made to be broken. There are so many rules. How could we possibly know them all? Who is making the rules? Are the rules really effective? Are they really in support of health and human wellness? Do they really protect you and protect me? Or is there an underlying cause? Is someone seeking power and control, more power, greed, more wealth, more money, more control? These are questions that I think is mountingly, increasingly important that we all ask, because our complacency over the last 14 months, our response to the terrorism that is being used by the news, who is not reporting the facts. I encourage all of you, if you watch the news, to fact check everything. I like Facebook, I like Instagram, but every time something comes up that is about holistic health and wellness, a little alert comes up. Fact check, this isn't true. And it is true. It just doesn't align with the powers that be's push for ultimate control and one world order. If you're not recognizing yet that the one world order is the ultimate agenda, I rarely turn on the TV. But when I do, the commercials that I see pushing this injection, one world, American Airlines, one world, and the government is using the airlines and enacting federal regulations about these masks, I get claustrophobic, and I trust in my immune system, and I need to be able to be sovereign over my own body and make choices that I am comfortable with. The tagline, "Your mask protects you and my mask protects me," is not true. Your mask can protect you, but my mask makes me sick, and I can't breathe with it on. And I don't want to breathe my own toxins. And I take great measures to strengthen my immune system. I've traveled all over the world in the past 14 months, and I've been around a lot of people, and I haven't been sick at all. Again, this was not my goal when I started this video, but I want to open up a healthy dialogue. I don't want negativity calling me selfish and this, that, and the other thing. This is still America. America is still a republic. Republic means ruled by the public with elected, keyword elected, officials. We also need to evaluate, really and truly, not what the news says, but really and truly, we need to evaluate whether our elections have in fact been compromised. And if they have, that's something every American should be fighting for. Safe electoral process. In this republic, we need to be free to make choices that maintain sovereignty over my own body. If I don't want to get an injection, honestly, this may raise your hairs, but again, if you have a reaction to this, I am saying it in a completely calm and peaceful state. If I am to be forced to get an injection so that I can travel freely or any other basic human right, it is worse than being raped. And I say that because, and rape is horrible. I mean, don't think that I am advocating rape. It's horrible, horrific, and we need to be much stronger against rape and human sex trafficking. However, if I'm raped and I'm not impregnated, the lingering effects are emotional and psychological, and we can overcome those. If I'm injected with a substance that was diabolically created, and you do not have to believe or agree that it was diabolically created, but I would ask you to question it, We should not be forcing one another to do anything. I don't want to force you not to be injected, and I don't want to force you not to wear your mask. If that makes you feel safe, do it. But do your homework, and not in the news. Look deeper into the ingredients. Look deeper into past attempts at using mRNA encoding drug therapy. It's been abandoned every time someone attempted to work with it. There are real scientific articles out there. So I'm just asking you two things, and then I want to move on to the rest of the new moon information that I have for you. Take time in the next 24 hours to be as quiet as you can. If you can rearrange work appointments so that you can take a personal day on a divinely appointed, astrologically appointed 24 hours that is extremely potent for setting intentions, not only for the next 28 days, it's especially the next 28 days, but it will also affect your long-term goals. And the astrology that's coming into play right now is astrology that we're going to be heavily experiencing in 2022. That's why this particular moon has more long-reaching impact. So I want to ask you to get quiet, to reevaluate your priorities, and to listen to your inner senses. If something inside of you is whispering, what if this isn't what they're telling me it is? I can assure you that voice deserves credence. Every time in my life when I have heard my inner voice and ignored it, I have regretted it. And I've done it even recently. So I'm not saying I'm no better than anyone else. But our freedom is precious. Our freedom is valued above all other things. Divide and conquer is the oldest trick in the book, and it has been successful. But you and I have the power to correct that right now. So I did not advertise or share the link for the New Moon Global Goddess Gathering today. But if you want to come to my house and set new moon intentions, you are welcome. Reply to this email, reply to this video, and I will give you my address and you can come. Be together with community again. Be together with community again. If you disagree with your neighbor, seek to stand in the center and see as many angles and as many sides as you can. Dig deep for as much information as you can find. And try it. Take a 28-day news detox, and I guarantee you, you will feel better. Your health will improve. Thank you. I hope that you listened to that objectively, and I hope if it triggered a negative response in you, you will dive in and explore that trigger. How old were you in that emotional triggered response? This new moon brings with it energy to go back and heal our inner child, to heal past wounds from childhood. That is the Mars conjunct Chiron energy that'll be with us for some time. Chiron is the wounded healer, and Mars is a planet of action, masculine action. So we are gifted an opportunity to heal our inner child. The moon also sextiles Neptune in Pisces. It trines an exalted Pluto in Capricorn. And Pluto is the outer planet that governs Scorpio and transformation. Pluto has given humans a choice beginning in 2020, January 2020, when it entered Capricorn. Transform or die. These are not my words, but people. We are not living sustainably. We haven't been living sustainably for a long time. And astrologically, that is the reason that there is so much revolutionary energy. And it is also the reason the powers that be are fighting so hard for control right now. Control over human DNA is probably their primary goal. Pluto has given us the choice, transform or die. Let's transform. Let's improve the health of our Earth. Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius are also exalted. And Jupiter is the planet of expansion and great benevolence. I think that we have great gems to mine when we come through this united and stronger. But we've got to be willing to unmask, hug, take a deeper look, find mutual respect, see the value in other points of view, and make a decision to not force anything on anyone and to question those that are forcing it. And you know what? It's okay to let go. It's okay to let go. All of our institutions are broken. Our government is broken beyond repair. These dinosaurs or aliens with 40 years in government making financial deals, selling their soul, selling your soul for money. I mean, they've had their chance. We can't really turn this ship around with these same old fat cats in there. They are a seething subculture. They do not have your and my interest or human health and wellness as their priority. If that isn't evident, I don't know what is. I mean, that is evident, folks. Let's join together and let's peacefully do something about it, right? Let's strengthen our communities. Let's make new schools. You know, our schools have failed our kids horrifically. And we've been so pressed into survival mode because the price of everything goes up. We're working so hard to hold on to our homes and our cars and feed our families. The price of building materials has gone up exponentially and irreconcilably and unnecessarily. I'm going to say this is all planned. Let's do something different, folks. Let's strengthen our communities. My garden here is a community garden. You're invited to come and do yoga in the garden with me and help take care of it. Learn to garden, learn to make plant medicines, learn to make wine, learn to forage, learn to preserve, learn to grow organically and sustainably. And I don't have a family of 5 to feed anymore. I just love gardening. So I want to share it with others. I want to share my knowledge and my love and my passion. And I don't want to be alone out here with this huge goal. So come, be a part of community. Find a community garden in your neighborhood. Start a community garden. Start a new moon gathering and then connect with us virtually. I'm only taking a break so I can reevaluate and regroup. So this moon in steady, peaceful Taurus places more focus on our physical world. So there was a reason for all of that. Our bodies, resources, including money and other resources, and the resource of our planet Earth. Earth gives us every single thing we need to be optimally healthy naturally now, I can assure you. There are many branches of holistic health and wellness: homeopathy, Chinese medicine, acupuncture, herbology. I mean, there are other ways, people. There are other ways to build your immune system and protect against this virus. We are powerfully reminded to take time to honor the only planet that is currently inhabitable. We are powerfully encouraged with the astrology of this new moon to take time to connect with and honor our Earth, our home, to honor its beauty and its resources. There is so much beauty. Beauty in every tiny flower, beauty in every bird song, beauty in the crickets and other bugs singing, beauty in the frogs, beauty in the squirrels leaping around. There is so much beauty. Beauty in the clouds, beauty in the rain, beauty in the sun. This is a time to recognize our planet and ourselves as an expression of the divine. Why do I call it the New Moon Global Goddess Gathering? Because we are all divine and we all have masculine and feminine within. Divine feminine has been squandered by the patriarchy, hunted, slaughtered, turned into witches, whores, second class, second rate. Even still, people, there are still human trafficking and child sex slaves. Women are still being persecuted in many ways. That is why I call it the Global New Moon Goddess Gathering, and it is open to conscious or awakening divine men and women everywhere. Join with us. Learn to set intentions. Learn rituals that will improve the quality of your life. And together, when we come together on a regular basis to set intentions and to lift one another up, guess what? We rebirth the earth that we want to inhabit. This moon is asking us to examine the relationship of matter and spirit. The next 24 hours between 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday, May 11th and 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday, May 12th is the most potent time to write your intentions. But take time to reflect first and write them for your grandchildren. What are we going to leave for those yet to come? What are we going to leave for those yet to come? That should be a sobering question that we can ask ourselves. The only time during this next 24 hours that is not recommended to write your intentions is a brief moon void, of course, where the moon appears to stand still. And that's between 8:23 and 8:43 Eastern Time, a.m. Wednesday morning. Again, it is okay to let go. It's okay to recognize that our systems have failed and they're not working. We can let go of our old churches and we can start new ones. We can let go of our educational institutions and start new ones. We can let go of dinosaur self-serving politicians and elect new ones. And we can come up with a whole new process for doing so. And these things are not far-fetched. They are things that we are going to have to do one way or another. And I'd rather do them by choice than once the tower moment that Jupiter has handed us actually occurs and everything just falls to shit, which is quickly happening, by the way. It's okay to recognize what triggers are connected to past wounds and heal them, so you're no longer reactive and triggered, but you can respond with ease and grace and love and care. It's up to us to create unity and peace. It's okay to reconcile and recognize that we have the collective power to allow the old worn out to fall in order to create space for the new. So with this new moon, create the time and the space to feel all the feels that you may have been repressing. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty angry at the loss of my freedom, and I'm pretty damn sad at the loss of my freedom and the division and the people that look at me with fear in their eyes if I don't have a mask on, and the people, that look at me with fear if I'm not injected. Well, if you choose to get injected, then you ought to be believing that that is enough to protect you and not care about my choices. And in feeling those feels, really feeling them, if you need to yell, scream, punch, jump, run through the woods, if you need to cry your eyes out or wail, do it. Do it so that you can be free from it. Free to go into the silence and to discover what it is that you want to accomplish in the next phases of your life. Everything is different now, people. We've all got to learn new ways. We've got to create new economies. I mean, it's the reality. We've got to create sustainable food chains. We saw how delicate it is. And we saw how people that want more control and more greed can easily get it. But we can grow food. And we won't be hungry. And then, once we let all that shame for believing something that wasn't true, shame for, shame has got to go. So once we can let go of all that judgment and all that shame, we can open up to greater experiences of freedom. I do hope that you listened. I do hope that you will like and share. And I do hope that you will reach out and join our growing community. There's lots of changes coming here at Body in Balance. Soon we'll be launching the Collective Directory, an open chain singular resource where you can go online to find everything you need to live holistically and sustainably, from healers and holistic wellness and healthcare practitioners to conscious contractors and everything in between. And if you would like to be a member of the Collective Directory, for now it is free. We are going to set up your page for free. And if you have services or handmade or locally made items to sell, you can sell them in our store. And we're going to generate abundance together. And we're going to create community together moving forward. And I'm also going to film next a new moon meditation. And I hope that you might listen to that new moon meditation and take time to really be quiet, to go within, and to write your intentions from your inner voice, your inner psychic communications. I truly love you. I am here in service to humanity. I truly am. And I will do anything in my power to help you. I can help you with daily practices. I can help you with your diet and nutrition. I can help you with meditation and yoga. I can help you with conscious travel. There are just so many things as a holistic healthcare practitioner that I am ready, willing, and able to help you with. We do remote energy healing sessions. And again, you're welcome to come, and I wish you would come and join my community garden in the West End of Pittsburgh. So much love to you. Namaste. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. And pura vida, pure life. That's all for now. Happiest of new moons in Taurus to you. One last thing. Next month, the new moon in Gemini coincides with an eclipse. I forget if it's solar or lunar. I think it's solar. And we will be having a retreat in the Laurel Highlands. So please consider joining us for the retreat. Details are coming on that really, really soon. Lots and lots of love. And namaste.